we could turn this just maybe a little more like that. Yeah, let's make sure now. All right, so we're live. Everything's going good. So hopefully anybody, so we're on YouTube. If you ever want to donate to the podcast, you can switch over to the YouTube and see that right there. I mean, it's kind of cool that you're able to donate to the podcast, and every little bit helps, folks. When we do this, we have travel expenses. Love to travel, see things. We've got hotels, and then you also have to remember that equipment and everything. Uh, love doing this. I'm not, but every single and bourbon we use through the money that we get through our sponsors, the money that is donated through our. Let's just make sure. I'm going to go live. Ooh, that's pretty good. All right, so bourbon. All right, sounding good. All right, so now I know I'm on there. Welcome, everyone. Feel free to comment. We're live on them all, but we use every cent. I mean, we use every cent to travel. We use it. All right, I should have pushed that. All right. All right. So there we go. We got our first person watching tonight on YouTube. I got that set up. It's all working. All right. So I can monitor. We got glad you could join. Okay, Walker and Chris. Yeah, that was so let's get back to the Amore thing now that we've got everything. Oh, I got one last thing to do. It's really cool now that I've got wireless microphones, everybody. I hope there we go. We put that on the air. We could talk, but this weekend, or last week, starting last Thursday, CT and I, we actually were down at Four Roses. That's where we started. But then, I mean, we went on an all-star lineup of bourbon in Kentucky. I mean, it was amazing, amazing. And you know, the whole thing. Oh, that's their Walker and Greg are talking about this. So, Greg Schneider, a friend of the podcast. He is at, I believe, 11 podcasts, which is 2 ahead of anybody else. And we went to dinner at Amore Restaurant in Floyd's Knob, Indiana, which is about 12 minutes from downtown Louisville. So anybody in Louisville, if you know about this, you can head over there. We went to dinner. Al Popsadero is the chef, and he is a fantastic chef. He was military. He went into corporate chef, and he started his own place. And Amore, this is unbelievable food. This is the kind of food that when you eat it's artistry, and he could make anything. I personally, I've never had pheasant in my life. Greg Schneider, who's on tonight, went hunting in, I believe it was North Dakota, for pheasant last month, and came home with a lot of pheasant. He basically uh, cubed it and then put it in a Ziploc bag with Frank's hot sauce and marinated it all day. We brought it with us, handed it to Al's wife. We handed it to Al's wife, and she took it back and gave it to Al. And as he had talked about, Greg said that our first hors d'oeuvre was pheasant, and it was breaded after being marinated in the hot sauce. He breaded it, and he put it in a lemon caper butter sauce, and it was out of this world. But then the waitress comes out with this bottle right here. Now, this bottle is a 2XO Gem of Kentucky. And when we went back to talk to Al, he basically said that he knew that Tiny and Greg Schneider, master distiller of Chicken Cock Whiskey, Greg's wonderful woman, uh, Susan, she was with us too. And then also Walker Cyrus, who's on tonight, he was joined us. And basically, this bottle was set on our table, brand new, wide open. And he basically had told his supplier that he wanted him to get the best possible bottle of bourbon because he knew we were coming, and he put it on the table. I mean, it was fantastic. He gave us all 4 rocks glasses with circle cubes, large, big super cubes, and we were able to enjoy this with the pheasant. Now that was fantastic, but they did, on the menu was a lot of things. So I've never had venison. So when we went back and talked to Al, he told me that the reason why he gets it out of New Zealand is because they have the best deer meat in the world, and he has it flown in and fresh, and he was doing his magic with it. And honestly, he made, I believe it was spicy plum sauce, spicy plum bourbon sauce on it, and it was out of this world. And the venison was so tender. It's nothing like I had tasted it at growing up as a kid, and the couple times I've tasted bites of deer meat. It was nothing. It was just fantastic. And so I believe I might be able to. Let's just real quick on Facebook. Let's start the fun right now, and I probably participant since we're just this. I'm going to hit share. I'm going to go to my photos aren't up, so that's not happening. So I'll cancel that out. All right, no biggie. But it was fantastic. If I had photos open, oh, let's see what happens if I open photos. I gotta, oh, there it is. So now I should be able to go back to this. Let's see. Let's get this back up. No, I had never had pheasant ever, Greg. Never. And share. Let's see. Are the photos there? Yes, they are. So let's go here. Click on that and hit share. All right, so that's up. Let's go there. There it is. Here is the pheasant for everybody. Here's a picture of the pheasant. Hopefully everybody can see that. That's pretty damn special, wouldn't you say? And that's in the lemon butter caper sauce. And then let's see. Let's get okay. And then here, oh, well, I didn't want to show the eat. I got the non-eaten one, but it's. Well, I wonder if I can rotate it right. Can I? No, it doesn't look like I should be able to. You are screen sharing. Okay, we'll get off there, and I'll show you the one right here. This is a little bit better. But look at that. Look at that venison. I mean, it was fantastic. So I thought that was pretty cool. Very delicious, very amazing, and Al did a great job. We had such a good time. It's just like you can't even imagine. It just was such a good night. What a night. And then you're funny, Walker. Walker sending me pictures of his plate on the thing. Yeah, there you go. All right. So anyways, that was fantastic. We are going to I'm going to give a little thing just to shout out to our sponsors, Alan Bishop. Miss you, man. His father, who Alan works with, which is Old Dale Bishop, had hip replacement surgery this past week, and things have gone well. So I'm very happy for that. He should be getting. It's good. Hip replacement surgery takes a little bit of time, and he should be getting. But if it all goes well, it's going to be fantastic for old Dale Bishop, and knowing that he's going to be able to keep helping Alan distill some of the great stuff that Alan distills. And then also the Spirit of French Lick. No, Alan Bishop runs a podcast. We don't go to there first. But Alan Bishop runs a podcast. If you have ghosts, you have everything, which combines the best of the spirits world and the spirits industry. So you're talking about ghosts and strange phenomenon inside the spirit industry, Rick houses and whatnot. And he has the greatest guests. Check that out. If you have ghosts, you have everything on all the major podcast formats. And then he also has the One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute, which is an amazing thing. If you're a home distiller, home brewer, he will answer questions about it. He started as a home distiller and went into it and became a fantastic distiller. And now he's at Old Homestead. Wanted to see him, but we'll probably be seeing him sometime in January or February. Also, the Spirit of French Lick, our sponsor. We just have two amazing barrel picks. One is the Lillian Sinclair. Folks, it's starting to get a little bit down. I would say you should try and get some because this is associated with Alan Bishop before he left the Spirit of French Lick and went to Old Homestead. And it's one of the last barrel picks he was on. The William Dalton we did and the Lillian Sinclair. So if you're interested, it's great for holidays and everything. Give me a contact and I will tell you how you can obtain it. Then also, we have Rosewood Bourbon and Rise, which right now Jason Giles is trying to move around. He'd call me right before, and I definitely will be calling him back afterwards. Have not talked to him, but Jason is a great guy. And Rosewood Bourbons and Rise are great whiskeys. So make sure you can check that out. If you see a bottle, you want to grab it. It's out of Kentucky, Indiana, and he's also distilling his own at Bardstown Bourbon Company. So there you go. And then also Whiskey Thief Distilling Company in Frankfurt and Nulu. And the great thing about Whiskey Thief is just remember, it's a barrel pick at each location all day, every day. I stopped in when I was when we were in Indiana, after we were in Indiana on Saturday morning, and we stopped into Whiskey Thief and shot some great new footage at the Nulu location. Fantastic. People were coming in, having a good time. It's a full bar. And then also Mark Carter and Christy Atkinson met up with us there. We did a morning tasting and a drink and talked about all the awesome things that happened with Old Carter. Mark Carter has reobtained the Old Carter brand. It sold, he purchased it, and he is ready and beating down. I mean, he's breaking down the door to get back in there and start putting Old Carter batches back on the shelf as soon as he can. So it's going to be fantastic. But Whiskey Thief, that all the people, Walter, everything, everybody's there. And like I said, it's a barrel pick all day, every day. You go in there for the price of admission and you could taste from 5 different barrels. And if you like one, you get to bottle your own and walk out with that bottle. That is a barrel pick, folks. It's a barrel pick experience that they offer all the time. A lot of big distilleries, you got to pay big bucks for it. This is you're basically paying for your bottle and for the tour or the tasting. So really kind of cool. Check them out. Frankfurt, where the actual distillery is, and also in Nulu. All right, got that out of the way. Everybody, we're going to get this baby started. So far, if there's any technical difficulties, did you have a sip of the Chicken Cock Reserve Cast that I sent over? Their distiller, master distiller, Derek Sprovery. Thank you. Sprovery. So it's not Sprovery. Sprovery. SP. Anyways, Derek was there also. That was really kind of cool. Let's see. Picked up one of Greg's Ohio Chicken Cock 6 Reserve. Hey, Aaron. Yes, I did too. I did that today too. Also, I picked up that Chicken Cock right here. That was what we picked up today. That 6 year is what I was going for, and it's reasonably priced. I mean, it was $84.99, $93 out the door. I mean, how can you go wrong with that That has got this bottle is one of their reserve casks, so it comes with the jigger cap on top. It's got, I mean, and the bottle. I love the bottle style of the reserve cask. So, anyways, all right. So we're gonna get this baby rolling. I'm gonna make sure everything's working, and we will start the podcast. There's gonna be a brief ad that I will be quiet for, and then we will hear the theme song and get going. Great to have everybody on tonight. Looks like it's going to be a fun night, and let's get the podcast started. We tonight are going to be barrel bashing the Discovery Bardstown Bourbon Company Discovery Batch 12. I've got info on it, and this should be really cool. Let's go. Here we go.
Taking 30, sipping on some scotch. We get a little wild, the show fun watch. We love what we do with drinking. Every girl is a fan, it's all sunshine. Love the telling the truth. Yeah, we the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Raising hell, making some noise. Yeah, we the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We're here to have fun, we hope you enjoy. We're here to have fun.
All right. Welcome back to another awesome podcast of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Tiny here tonight. It's just me. It gets this way around the holidays. Everybody's busy, but I basically stay at my commitment. We've got a lot of people watching tonight on Facebook and YouTube. Welcome, everybody. Facebook and YouTube. Glad to have you guys here. This podcast tonight is going to be the Discovery Series. Batch 12. I kind of dropped the ball because I wanted to give a shout out if you're watching tonight and I was going to go back and look, it's just slipping my mind, and you gave me the sample. Comment that you gave me the sample, because I was going to go back, and with everything that's happening, my wife is at a birth and then she's back home and we're doing all this stuff, and she's got a sprained ankle and everything. It was just crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And I will have to say that the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, you gotta support us. www.scotchybourbonboys.com for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We got Glen Cairns, we got t-shirts. Look at this. This is like, look at, you can have one of these. It's got our logo on it. It's cool as hell. And then also we have t-shirts, and the bourbon ball batter's made. We're going to get these out. I don't know if they're going out for the holidays. I'm working my butt off. It's been so busy. My wife's had a cough that she's all better from now. And then she sprained her ankle, and then she did. So we've been having a lot of issues, but a lot of fun. So thank you, everybody, for watching and whatever. And just remember, We're on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X. Tonight we are live on YouTube and Facebook, which is really freaking cool. Hey, Walker, invite Matt Leisen to the podcast because I did not send an invite to watch this live. Maybe share it to him or maybe message him that we are live because that's the one guy I was looking to think, but I forgot. But also, we are on all the podcast formats, iHeart, Spotify, Apple. We're on them. And if you're listening to a podcast, you can find us. We're on all the major podcasts. So please remember, whether you watch on social media, listen on social media, watch on whatever way you do this, like, listen, comment, subscribe, subscribe, comment, and leave good feedback. The feedback's really kind of good. So that's what I need from you guys. I greatly appreciate it. I'm getting excited about this tonight. The three things that we're going to cover is we're going to do a little bit of a review of everything that happened between last Thursday and now, as far as my bourbon journey, which was pretty amazing. And then we're going to barrel batch this Discovery 12 series to see if it's going to get entered. I don't get to drink a lot of this sample. It's here, and I'm excited. But if it qualifies, because a lot of people have been telling me, even Stacy Pritchard, that it's good stuff. And yeah, I thought it was you, Andrew, because thank you. It's good stuff. Andrew says he thinks it could be bourbon of the year. Stacy loves it. I've just heard nothing but good things. But I'm just going to do a little small sample so that if it's bourbon of the year, it can be a part of our blind. Because we're going to get that blinded. And it's going to be pretty cool what's going to be happening for our Bourbon of the Year podcast. So let's just go over a little schedule for the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. On Thursday, I'm going to try and go live, but I might be a little bit late, like 9 o'clock, because my grandsons are singing at the holiday concert at 6:30. It probably starts at 7. I will try and win tomorrow night, pre this thing, so I'm ready. So if I come home, I could just start it as close to 8:30 as I possibly can. I'll have what we're going to be, but I think I'm going to be opening the chicken cock. That's a good chance. Or even, I know that we've already done 2XO Gem of Kentucky. I've had a sample of that, but there's a bunch of stuff that I want to maybe go over on Thursday. Then Tuesday will be Christmas Eve. So there's going to be no podcast on Christmas Eve, but I might do a short live. It just depends on how late or early the people coming over on Christmas Eve are. And then Thursday, Super Nash will be here in Ohio. He arrives in the morning. I'm off and I'm going to meet him up and we are going to have some fun with Matt Leisen. If you need, just let me know. I will. Really? But Matt Leisen, me and Super Nash are meeting up there. We're going to do a little live from that Thursday morning from his bar up there in Cleveland. And then we're going to do some lunch and make our way back. But Thursday night, which would be the 26th, we are going to do the Bookers of the Year. And we're going to blind all 5 from this year, including the reserves. So we're going to be doing batch 1, 2, 3, and 4 and the reserve and see which is the best Bookers blind this year. Now, of the best Bookers blind, if we agree or whatever, that probably one of them will be up for Bourbon of the Year. And then what happens on Friday, that's when all the Scotchy Bourbon Boys all day, we will be doing a 10 a.m. live on Friday, December 27th, and a 2 p.m. live on Friday, December 27th. And then that night at 7 p.m. at Gervasi Stillhouse, Gervasi Vineyards here in Canton, Ohio, is the Scotchy Bourbon Boys Christmas party. It's not too late to sign up or come up. It's going to be, in my opinion, one of the best Christmas parties we've ever had, and it might. I'm looking forward to this be epic. with Michael Lefferton and Sean over at the Still House. They got special things. I got to make sure I get over there. I'm probably going to stop by tomorrow night and say hi to those guys, make sure all the arrangements are going well. And then that party. Now, if you get an invitation, we will start meeting here at about 5:30 for this, and then we will about 6:45 head over to the Still House and start that party 7 p.m. So there you go, the schedule of what's coming up. Very excited. Now, I will say that also just remember that if you're going to come to the party, you got to let me know, because right now we have a decent amount of people, and I just want to give them a number so that we can we do a certain amount of uh, hors d'oeuvres and stuff like that we do. So we want to make sure we got that covered this year. And so let me know if you decide to come up to this. Know that Gervasi, if you go online, they have room and board. I mean, you can basically be on premise, go to the party, and walk over to your room. So that's highly recommended. I know that Stacy and Shannon and maybe Sarah Evans are coming up, and they are staying on premise. And then I know Super Nash CT Walker, they're all coming up, and it's going to be a fantastic, fantastic, super Christmas party. Now, this past week, we loaded in last Thursday at about 4 o'clock at Four Roses. Me and CT. What we did is we met down here in Kentucky, and I drove down and CT, and we met at Buffalo Trace. Now, when we were at Buffalo Trace, it was kind of cool because we got on a tour, so we were able to do a tour when we were there and kind of saw. Now, they had released Stag, and we were a little bit late for that, having to drive all the way down. Now, that wasn't a big deal. And then we went from there. We ate at the Stave, the fantastic restaurant there, right in that area of Frankfurt. It's on the same road Glens Creek is on, and Castle and Key, and those distilleries. And it's I think he had a bologna sandwich and I had shepherd's pie. It was so good. And at that point, then we ended up going over to Four Roses, got over there, saw their new gift shop, beautifully decorated for Christmas, and then met Brent Elliott in the lab. And Brent's a fantastic guy. We've every bourbon festival, every that we go to, Kentucky Bourbon Festival, saw him this year. We saw Brent went and did the Four Roses dinner there. What is going on? This is just not supposed to be happening. I did not know that. Oh my God, Super Nash is joining us. How is this even possible? You didn't. Now you're not gonna be on the YouTube because I set it up for just me. But you're joining on the podcast and the Facebook.
Yeah, and
so
I'm having to join on my phone.
Okay,
So
that's no problem.
should I turn it sideways?
There you go. Yeah, perfect. Perfect for the sideways. And that would be if I could, but I can't go and do all the things. Now, do you have Discovery 12 yourself?
Oh,
all right, I do. But we were just going over and reviewing the weekend, and that we did that with Brent Elliott. We finished Brent was so great, and the podcast was awesome. And then me and CT afterwards, we headed down to Bardstown and met Stacy Pritchard, and we went to the Heaven Hill Holiday on the Hill is what they called it, and it was an open public event, open to all the public, and the food was fantastic. I mean, they had two different types of meatballs. They had spinach nachos. They had ham sandwiches. They had a dessert bar. And okay, so I could share this. I'm tonight. I am like on fire as far as doing this. So let me I'm going to share this one. but I could get into my. I didn't.
Go there.
Hold on. There it is. That was. You're gonna see my venison that's gonna come up soon, but there it is. Now the sharing on this one. All right. So
Oh my
let's.
gosh, look at that.
That was the venison. I'm trying to come on, get this off. What's going on? Where did it go? What happened? Okay, hold on. I think I go like this. There we go. All right. So then I'll show you this spread. I was everywhere. Look at this, man. This is all the pictures. It was crazy. So that's going forward. So let's go back a little bit. Where are we? Okay. That's, yep. All right. Keep going. All right. There I am, Old Forester. There I am. Yep. Here we go. Here we are with, there we are. Oh, give you a blurry picture. Maybe this will be straight. Nope. I am not good at taking selfies, but this is me in, holy crap, is it blurry? I'm taking blurry pictures. There, that's a little bit better. And then I just want to show you this spread. All right, here it is. It is right here. This dessert spread was unbelievable. If you look at this, it was, I don't know, they had truffles, they had white cake, they had, everything was snow with the big, huge, giant nutcracker in the middle. I mean, it was fantastic. And this was all free to the public in Bardstown. All right, I'll stop sharing.
Wow.
And so we went there that night, and CT and I had a couple drinks and a couple pours, and CT headed home, and I
Kept on partying.
well, no, he dropped me back off at my hotel in Frankfurt because the next morning I wanted to be at Buffalo Trace early, get there early to see if I get something, and it just turned out to be Eagle Rare. So I didn't even really get anything that morning. But then that was Friday morning, and I knew that I was going to.
Hey, speaking of Eagle Rare, have you ever had an Eagle Rare store pick?
Of course, I've had Eagle Rare store picks. I've had group picks, store picks. It's just, yeah.
From Eagle Rare.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's one of, actually when Whiskey and I did a single barrel podcast on, you got to find a group or a store where you like their picks because they might not align with you. And we were talking about one of the picks a while back. I'm not just going to go into any detail, how it didn't align with my palate. You know what I mean? And, you know, Eagle Rare for me is hit or miss. And I've got a couple misses and one hit in my cabinet, and I don't need to try and miss again. So I left the Eagle Rare in there. I mean, I've had some fantastic ones, but I left them in there, left it there on the shelf. And I was really kind of, the whole trip was kind of like I wasn't really looking for anything but something special. If something special would pop up, I would get it. You know what I mean? So then after that, I headed in.
The reason I asked that is because Major's Discount Beverage here in Anderson, Stacy Major, real good friend of ours, and she's part of our group. They did a store pick and barrel pick of Eagle Rare, and I just happened to acquire a bottle of it yesterday and tried it, and it is freaking fantastic, phenomenal.
I'll trade you one of the Lillians for two of the Eagle Rares.
Well, actually, I'm not going to bring you up a bottle, but I'm bringing up Rachel a bottle.
That's fine with me.
Maybe
woo!
she might share a pour with you.
Yeah. Woo. And so, anyways,
how's she doing, by the way?
The cough's good. She's her ankles bothering her, but she went to her birth, and that's all out of the way. So now the holidays can begin. Everything's ready to go. And so, anyways, getting back to this, after there, I headed from Buffalo Trace and I headed into Louisville, and I set it for Old Forester because I never did their tour. I've only been in their gift shop like in 2019 and got my thing stamped. I've been in it in one other time, but I wanted to see what Old Forester had. They had nothing, but I was able to hop on a 3:30. Was there about 12:30. I hopped on a 3:30 tour. So I went over to Merle's Whiskey Kitchen and had some, I believe I had some nachos and a pour. And then I went over to the Monks Road tasting, uh, the tasting room. Monks Road is also in its own restaurant, which is a high-end dining steak place, and then nice steak restaurant along with.
I can't wait to go there.
And then, yeah, that would be a great thing. Maybe we can actually have dinner there when we go down on Saturday night or whatever, when we go down on the 28th. But it was cool. I tasted their stuff. I hadn't tasted any Monks Road recently, so the stuff that I tasted on the tasting was current. And then a whole office party, like at 3:00, like the office party showed up. And so I was entertained by watching all the different cliques and the ownership, the salespeople, the workers. They were all there, and they didn't order whiskey. They ordered gin gimlets, they ordered beers, they ordered wine, they ordered vodka. I said, "Do you have vodka?" He goes, "Yeah, not ours." I'm like, "What's going on?" Anyways, it's like just a regular bar. So then I got on my tour. The tour guide, Mike, was fantastic. He was from Scotland, and he has the greatest Scottish accent. I went through that. I got to see the cooperage and they burned the barrel. They toasted the barrel. They put the barrel together. They tested it. They put water in it, tested it, this whole thing. And then they showed you their rick house out in there, and they're just getting ready to release the first barrel coming up. It's like 6 years old, and they're going to put it. So I really enjoyed it. And then they had me taste through their Prohibition and whatever series, the 1870, which I thought was a little bit young. And then they had the bottled in bond, 18 whatever, that one, the 1898, I think it is, with the bottled in bond act. And that was good. I did get a flight, a premium flight. And I'm going to tell everybody, if you like Old Forester, you want to get the 117 series. The 117 series, the Angel Share, which we picked up at Kentucky Bourbon Festival, and this new 117 Warehouse Eye are freaking fantastic expressions of Old Forester. So I finished up at Old Forester, and I headed to my hotel in New Haven, Indiana, checked in, and then I headed over and met Greg and Susan at the house. And thank you so much, Greg Schneider. And we went, then we, I believe, had a pour. I want to say Russell's 10-year that he had there, that someone had, and it was pretty good. Talked a little bit, headed over to Amore. That's where we met Walker and had dinner at Amore. You saw the venison earlier. I had showed everybody there was venison, and then that. Oh, Nash, you didn't see you want to see the
pheasant?
Yeah, the pheasant. Okay, here we go. Share.
Oh my gosh!
You're about. Let's see. Where's that? Okay, here we go. Now I got to go back to. Let's see if I can get this thing to work again.
I'm a big wild game hunter, and Greg knows that, and just I can't imagine how great that tasted.
It's just got to get running. Okay, come on. I don't know what I do to make this get littler. It's not. Oh, okay.
So are you sipping on anything?
Not yet.
Pre-pour.
There it is.
Or are you just waiting?
I'm waiting for this discovery. Now I will show you this, and this. I'm sorry, because this is insane.
Oh my God.
That is
Look at that.
marinated in Frank's hot sauce pheasant, then breaded in a lemon butter caper sauce with Parmesan cheese over the top. Doesn't that
Wow.
look good?
Oh my God.
It's making me hungry.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
I skipped dinner tonight. I had so much going on.
Well, you're here. I can't believe it. I thought I was
Yeah,
doing this by
I
myself.
know.
You must have got a lot of work done. That's for sure.
Yeah, I did, and it's been a busy day and very blessed, and so just working towards the holidays. So trying to get everything done before Christmas because I'm coming up there right after, and can't wait to see everybody and have a great time.
Well,
and deliver a lot of presents from Bourbon Claws.
excellent. Excellent. So everybody on YouTube know that that is Super Nash. I set up for myself tonight, but you should be able to hear them loud and clear. And then, but here,
That's the Gem of Kentucky.
what is? Wait. So, oh my God, help me. This is not. Why'd you say that? All right. Anyways, so we have me and Super Nash did a whole 2XO podcast, and he had gone down, and he missed Dixon Deadman, if I'm not mistaken, but had bought.
He actually had to leave a little bit earlier because he had a super busy day. He was hitting like 7 or 8 different liquor stores, ABC stores across South Carolina that day, and he was scheduled to be there a little bit longer, but he left about 35 minutes early, and he had signed a bunch of bottles earlier, and so he had to leave, and he headed on to his next stop because he was trying to get them all in within one day. So yeah, I missed him, but I did pick up several bottles.
Yeah, and for me too, I've got one left. My son cashed off what was it, the Kiowa Island?
Yeah, the Kiowa Blend.
Yeah,
that's where it goes down. That's Kiowa Island, South Carolina.
Yep.
Where he
goes down with his family.
Goes down to vacation with his family right here on the beach, and that's where he says that he does a lot of his blending and his tasting of and comes up with a lot of the stuff that he does.
Right. So Al Popsadero, the chef who I showed you those pictures of, who made the pheasant, who made the venison as a meal of exceptional quality, knew we were coming. So he told his distributor that he wanted the best bottle he could get him for us. So all of a sudden, me, Greg, Susan, and Walker are sitting at the table, and out comes 4 rocks glasses, and he puts that down. I mean, wow. What is going on? So we proceeded to enjoy this wonderful bottle, which there's some left, and I got to take with me. Throughout the night, there was merriment and good. There's a short up on this. I put it up about how much when we were doing this and how much Greg means to me and us. He's a great friend. We're pulling for everything out there,
talk enough and tell enough how much Greg means to all of us, and his friendship, and not only that, but his guidance and his help along with our podcast and helping us along, introducing us to a lot of people in the industry. He is such super fantastic.
So Walker corrected me. It was the 1897 bottled in bond Old Forester. Thank you, Walker. Okay. John Ritt says, hi, Nash. Glad to see you. And Andrew Lucas, who sent this to this Bardstown Discovery 12, is going to send us some more so that next week when we all meet, we'll have our own so that we can do it. He said, pour a big sample tonight. So I'll do that, Andrew. And thank you. I really appreciate it. That's a decent sample, anyways. I mean, I was very happy with it. He said he thought it could be bourbon of the year, and I'm going to find out tonight when I taste this. Appreciate everything. And but so we finished up. Walker and I. We stayed in the. I believe I love staying at Marriott's. You know, you get the rooms and everything. It's just so easy. And then you get breakfast in the morning. But next morning is Saturday morning, and I said to Walker, let's go to, because I had talked to Walter all like for 2.5 weeks. I was trying to text Walter saying, I'm coming, I'm coming. Well, as I'm driving down on Thursday, he's like, hey, if you're texting me and I'm not answering, call me. So you got to call me. He goes, I'm out of town. We're in Florida. It's like, I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's no big deal. It didn't put me out or anything. I hadn't put. So me and Walter are like, well, let's just go to what you call it opens. The Whiskey Thief Nulu opens in Nulu opens at 11. So we had breakfast, packed up our stuff, and headed off to Nulu Whiskey Thief. And we got there about 5:02. Waited up, went in. They were fantastic, and there was a couple. So I had called Mark Carter and Christy Atkinson. I called Christy, and they said they'd be over in like 10 minutes. They're like, we'll be over in 10 minutes.
Awesome.
So me and Walker both had the barrel aged old fashions. I mean, this bottle does not have very much left in it. So me and Walker at 11 o'clock the next morning, we're starting off gingerly. Anyways, and then Mark and Christy came over, and they did a flight of some rye and some stuff. And actually there was a rye on there that was unbelievable. I mean, on the flight. And so,
wow.
But we got to
That's amazing for you to say that.
Yeah, it was. And Christy's like, you got to try that. So we tried it. And anyways, so we spent about 45 minutes with Mark and Christy. And if nobody knows the news, Mark Carter, old Carter was up for sale, up for auction. And it was based off of circumstances of why it had to be up for auction.
Yep.
But his firm that he put together and himself were able to repurchase it. And he now,
through the auction,
yes, through the auction. And he now has control again. And he is just dying to get back into the lab and get those batches back onto the shelf. And they're going to come now. He's done some blending, but he said he was out of the distillery for about 1.5 years and hadn't been able to work. And he was
just due to circumstances, and I knew he missed it so bad, and you could tell it because he is such an enthusiastic person when it comes to blending and bottling and just putting out such a great product to the people, and everybody just loves it. That I know loves it when they taste it, and he's just a wonderful guy, and I'm glad to see that he's able to get back to doing what he loves to do.
Yeah, for sure. Now, let's get on. So we went there and on Saturday, and then we were with them, and me and Walker worked our way back down to Bardstown, checked into the distilling. I love that place also. Really kind of cool. If you're in Bardstown, check out the distilling. It's a bourbon themed hotel with a bourbon bar at night now. The bar right there, which usually it's set up at night, and they're there and with decent pours, and it's kind of cool. But checked in, I threw on some nice clothes, and I headed over to
some nice clothes.
Oh yeah.
You mean not a hoodie and sweatshirt?
No, I was dressed up for this because this was the Kentucky Bourbon Festival's holiday party for their board, the Kentucky Bourbon Guild's board, and their sponsors. A shout out to Todd and Cindy, who are the coder. Todd was the coder. However you say the people who build the rick houses. I think it's coder, right? Cohter, coder, and they seriously. He's semi-retired, and I said he's seriously, and Siri responded on all the phones. Todd and Cindy were great. I got to hang out with everybody there. Randy and Kate came. There was Jonesy was there from anybody who was associated. It was but what was so amazing was that I never seen this before. But there was the bourbon selection of Dusty's, and I was in heaven. I checked off a lot of boxes. Thank you to Stacy Pritchard who invited me. I do believe I behaved. And anyways, and then afterwards we went out with Randy, Kate, Todd, and Cindy, and Stacy and Walker to Primo's Pizza. Had some pizza, and then I drove.
Did you try again?
There you go. Wow, that was Siri telling me to try again. Anyways, okay, so that night was fantastic. Finished up at the Distill Inn, had a couple pours. Walker brought the presidential, Old Forester presidential, and I pretty much he had me
is the presidential, is that up for bourbon of the year?
I don't have it. No, that's Old Forester. No,
one of the bourbon of the year.
No, that's the Old Forester presidential. If Walker brings,
he brought the Old Forester presidential.
Oh yeah, Walker.
Yeah.
I don't know, Walker. If you could bring the Old Forester presidential, I might be there. But then we also had this, which he gave me, and this is the Marianne Eves.
Marianne Eves, yes.
What is it? I want to say forbidden. It's forbidden. And this bottle actually that Walker has is signed by Marianne.
It's signed, yeah.
Yep. So it's kind of cool. So, but
that's
Walker,
very good bourbon, and we need to get Marianne on sometime.
Yeah, presidential number 76. Is that from this year, Walker? Because seriously, if it is, let's get it in, because that was a good old. Although
he sent me the Old Forester link to that, and I jumped on and got on, and as I got into the room, and all of a sudden, boom! I mean, I got in with 1 minute to go, and then all of a sudden, like 5 minutes later, it put me up to pick all the bottles, so I could pick the presidential. There was like two presidentials and Old Forester presidentials and a couple of other bottles that you could get, and but I couldn't get any of it because they could not ship to South Carolina.
You got to pick it up.
Kentucky, and like four or five other states only at the time. So
okay.
I got left out. I had to exit the room without anything.
So Andrew said that he thinks that the presidential was too peppery and short, sharp, but this year's the 76 Walker says is this year. And Andrew, that's mostly my complaint about Old Forester when I don't like it. It's always peppery. It is hot. You said sharp, which is fine, but I also find like a bitter pepperiness to it. 80 from that one. I got number 80 from that one, Nash. I have two different ones now. There you go. And Leland writes on hello, but that one.
Cheers, Leland. Hadn't heard from you in a while.
I don't know if it'd be fair, but the banana on that presidential, both that I had at the Old Forester in the Old Forester premium, flight. I had the birthday bourbon. I had the 117 Warehouse I and the presidential. The 117 Warehouse High and the Presidential were fantastic pours. I think Angel's Share could be part of it too, because Angel's Share was this year also too, right?
Yeah.
And then I was saying that the Old Forester birthday bourbon.
I've always loved Old Forester.
Yeah, but that Old
And-
Forester birthday bourbon was the same as what we had in Louisville. That when
Yeah.
we whatever, it's
Yeah,
just it's. And remember, you always bought me because we're always together around my birthday. So
yeah.
my
Yeah.
friend Super Nash,
I
my
bought
brother.
I bought you the 23, and the 23 is just not up.
That
to
was
par.
that was a 24. That's 24.
24?
Yes, this
Okay.
year's 24 was not up to par, and it wasn't again at the Witch
I
Club.
agree.
But you bought me 23, 22, 21, 20 every single year that we've been together, and every year I liked it. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was like some of the. I mean, where I have a problem sometimes.
No, the first year in which I've sent you up a sample, but what's your favorite Old Forester birthday bourbon? It has to be, and mine, the 2017,
No.
which I have right up here.
Yeah, but did you
Which is
send?
like my
You
third
never
bottle of
sent me.
2017.
We never drank the 2017 birthday yet. I have not.
Yeah, I've sent you a sample of it.
Okay, but I don't think you've ever sent me a sample of birthday.
About 3 years ago.
Okay, but well,
That
if
was
you
like
want
the
to know my
first-
favorite,
That was like the first sample of birthday bourbon I ever sent you.
okay.
Because it's my favorite. And
Did you, Andrew? Did you try the 117 Warehouse I, which is current? Because it was every bit of what Angel's Share was. I didn't get to try them together, but I liked it. But I will tell you this: my favorite birthday bourbon of what we've had so far was the one that you bought me at, I believe it was 2021 at Bardstown Bourbon Company. We were there, and I was
that was the 17.
You bought the 17 at Bardstown?
Yep.
That's how you got it to me. All right.
Yeah, that was the 17. Yeah, they had it. They had a bottle of it up there, and that when we were sitting outside, and I brought because I saw it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Yeah, I thought I sent you a sample, but yeah, you're right. I bought it for you at Bardstown Bourbon Company.
Yeah. So,
yeah, and that's when you first tasted it.
Now
it's phenomenal.
Now you bought me. Which one did you? What did you buy me at Luca Mariano after the? Remember we went over to the what's her name's place in Danville after the Luca Mariano barrel pick.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you bought me a birthday bourbon.
You want me to remember that?
I guess no, I guess not. That was like yeah. Do you remember?
Sort of a blur.
Yeah. Do you?
Because that Luca Mariano barrel pick that day was phenomenal, and I got a backup, and we could call him right now, Randy Cross, our good friend. He could attest to this too. That day was phenomenal.
No, he can't. He can't attest to it like you had. You weren't as gone for as long, but he was. Yeah. Oh, that was mean. Yeah. All right. Anyways, so I got to get on to this part. This is the.
One more thing though is at Francesco too, and we've got to get over there and to the distillery. They've got so much accomplished there, and he just commented to me the other day that we've got to get by there and check it out and see what all they got going. And we're not far from their opening, so
okay. All right. This right here is the Discovery Series 12. And now I have some stuff on this, which I don't have. I can just read it. I don't have to share it. But I'm working again from breakingbourbon.com. One of my favorite things for reviews when they have it. This is Bardstown Bourbon Company Discovery Series 12. It is a straight bourbon. It's Bardstown Bourbon Company. The distillery are Bardstown Bourbon Company and sourced from undisclosed Kentucky distilleries. So it's Kentucky. Now, it's 115.2 proof. It's a blend of 6, 10, and 14-year-old bourbons. The blend of the mash bill is blend of 4 bourbons. So here are the blends. 48% of the batch is 14-year undisclosed Kentucky source, 75 corn, 13 rye, 12 malted barley. 29% of the batch is 10-year undisclosed Kentucky source, 78 corn, 12 malted barley, 10 rye. 29% is 10-year undisclosed Kentucky source, 78 corn, 13 rye, 9 barley, and 8% is 6-year Bardstown Bourbon Company, 60 corn, 26 rye, 10 wheat, and 4 malted barley. All right. It's $140, and I'm putting this pour in this Bardstown Bourbon Company Glen. I'm gonna put it in, and that brings us to the old Louisville barrel bashing segment of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. The barrel bashing rating system is based off of 4 categories: nose, taste, body, and finish. Each category has a selected barrel bash. If you get 4 barrel bashes for the nose, is a perfect score for the nose. If you get 4 barrel bashes for the body, perfect score for the body. 5 barrel bashes for the taste, and 5 barrel bashes for the finish, for a total of 18 barrel bashes for a perfect bourbon. But if it's exceptional in one category, you're allowed to give a but-up. So a but-up bourbon is a 19 of 18. So let's get going on this right away.
Brought to you by Old Louisville Whiskey Company, a mean car in Louisville, Kentucky. If you get a chance, get down there. Great barrel picks, tastings. You cannot beat it. An experience that you'll never get again. Just get down there.
So the nose is complex and delicious. It feels like a combination of a summer fruit custard pie. The first thing I'm picking up is I pick up a little bit of apricot. But then
that's what I was about to say. When you say summer fruit?
Yeah, and then I pick up
fruits are you talking about?
Then I pick up a little bit of peach.
Apricot and peach.
But cherry is also prevalent, along with like a vanilla custardy. So that's why I think that's what I'm smelling.
Fruits and vanilla custard. Wow, that's an amazing nose right there.
Because the apricot and the peach
are very soft and fruity.
When it goes sweet, it goes peach and apricot. But then when you come off to the top, where you start to normally pick up oak, you pick up cherry. Like a burnt cherry. Wow. Okay, that's a pretty spectacular nose.
Got me nose in mine, and when I'm drinking out of my Bardstown whiskey glass, I'm actually drinking on some Copper and Kings.
Nice.
Is an old release.
Yep.
I mean, this is way back, and which this, oh my gosh,
So
you're talking about fruits.
grapes, I remember on that one.
Yes, lots of grapes. But keep on going there.
All right. So let's burnt peach covered in sugar is what Andrew's saying. All right. So Andrew says it's Wild Turkey, Jim Beam, and Heaven Hill, and Bardstown Bourbon Company.
Okay.
Here we go.
He's already picked out the blends of the actual whiskeys
No, what's
that they blended.
the first shocking 115? This is peach forward. Like peach. Maybe. So breaking bourbon's like talking about sweet aged oak, toasted hazelnut, cola, light maple syrup. Not. This is. I'll give you this. I get where they get the cola from, but this is peach. I don't. Let me see.
Are you getting the maple syrup?
You know that cola candy, those bottle caps,
Yeah.
and then when you eat the cola one, that flavor's there, but the peach is just insane.
Wow.
It stays peach. All right. Now, that time, it pulled off a little bit of cherry cola. So this time, up front, there's no vanilla. It's like a brown sugar. And then it goes to this cherry cola flavor. And then finishes like you bit into a peach, like one of those Georgia peaches that are so sweet. And the aftertaste is exactly the same. You know how when you're eating the peach and you bite into it, it's so sweet, but then afterwards there's a little tang. This has a tang. The what you call is fantastic. The hug for 115 is just a Kentucky just blow you away hug. Whatever they did on this batch. Now, one of the things that this is this has been open for a while. It's not like it's a neck pour. Not only did Andrew send this up to me, so this has been open, poured into another sample container, sealed, sent up to me, shipped, opened again to air out because I opened this a while before. And second sip won't taste nothing like the first. Burnt peach covers sugar is what he's saying. Out of all the bourbons, what I will say is this is the sweetest bourbon. The fact that this is 115 and this is playing a game. I would not consider this to be like a big Kentucky bourbon. A lot of the caramels and that's missing. It's a fresh fruity, but the flavor is so much. Did you build the bar? Did you? Yes, I did, Zach. I did build the bar area. This top was actually made by, what's his Charles Burton? Isn't his name? Or is it William Burton?
Oh my gosh, you're asking me?
Yeah, the guy on. Yeah. All right. Anyways, yes, I think it's William. Daniel Burton. Yes, Daniel Burton makes these, and this top was made for the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, and I put it together.
Yeah, and it took him a couple of different weeks to finish the top on that. Yeah. So
Wild.
he
Yes.
did a great job.
Yes, he did. And I have the staves all sanded. I'm thinking I'm gonna throw a coat of polyurethane stain on top, and then when you come up, you can help put together the bar front.
Nobody cares. Nobody's ever going to see it.
No, in the front, I'll just if
Except
the
for me,
no if no no the camera will move back if I have the bar
I
front.
am not coming up there to work. I'm coming up there to drink and party and have a good time
And put together my staves.
and bourbon hunt and eat freshly made bourbon balls.
All right. Maybe we'll be making them. Who knows? It does. All right.
I always do. You know, I always love to lend a hand.
All right. So I would say that it's time for the barrel bashing. All right. So.
All right. Once again, brought to you by Old Louisville Whiskey Company in Louisville, Kentucky. A mean car. You get a chance to get down and see them, take a tour, take a tasting, and pick up some bourbon.
So I'm picking up a little bit of a floral too now. It's sweet.
Mm. What kind of floral? Is it like rose or honeysuckle or like
Cherry blossom?
Cherry blossom. Mm.
So I have to wrap my brain around this. This is the Discovery series. You know what? I have this Bardstown Bourbon Company Discovery series. What was this? Now comes the fun part. Are they there? Nope. Are they here?
You see, like the only two Discovery series that I have is like 1 and 3.
I think we both. Is your 1 and 3? Let me see. Discovery series.
1 is green and 3 is red.
I've got 3. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, I don't think
mine's signed by Nick Smith and Steve Nally.
All right. I'm going to get it into the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Are they trying with the? Are they?
And also, my number 1 is by Nick Smith and Steve Nally.
Mine too. I've got them both. We got them when we were there. But I'm gonna let me see.
You know, I just don't understand why I have not gotten any other Discovery series.
So
I've gotten so many.
Andrew,
I've got the Origin series. I've got all these different the collaborative series. I mean, I've got so many other collaborative series that are over there, and the Origin series, I've got several of those that's back on my shelves over there. But you know, it's like 1 and 3, and now they're up to 12. I've missed out on so many Discovery series.
John Ritz says 10 has a Racine Kringle Cherry Bomb in this. Now, 3.
You're tasting 3?
I just put it up.
Yeah,
it's way more.
I've been sipping on this Copper and Kings. This is just such a great. Oh my gosh, this is like a great wine with a bourbon finish.
3 is way more.
Marry those two together.
3 they're close, okay? They're both sweet, but the 12 is sweeter. And
wow. And you know, listen to this. So, like the mash bill for Discovery Series 3 is 45% Indiana, 13-year, in which is a 75% corn, 21% rye, and 4% malted barley. 32% Kentucky, which is a 13-year, 74% corn, 18% rye, and 6% malted barley. And then the 23% Kentucky, which is oh my gosh, is that 18 or 19? 18-year corn, 75% rye, and rye is 13%, and malted barley 12%. Oh my gosh.
So, okay, 2 and 10 stand out to Nicholas. He said 1 through 2 is green, 3 through 9 marine, and 10 onwards is white label. I saw that white label when I was searching it, Nicholas. But Super Nash is a party animal. That's what Aaron says. But I'm going to ask you, Andrew. Andrew says he has a lot of 12. Let's just say. But a question, Andrew. Oh my God! What I had a question for Andrew.
Wow.
Let's see. I want to
The
say
thickness and the legs on that. I haven't even tasted it on 3, but and this has been open for quite a while.
I had a question for him, which is so. Oh, what's the price, Andrew? What's the price on 12? I think this is why the Discovery, in my opinion, the Fusion series is like 50. I believe is $59.99, and the Discovery series is like $159, $169. That's why it's so hard to keep up with.
Here in South Carolina, I think because I just saw it today, and the one that they had, because I was trying to pick up a bottle, they only had Discover Series 8, and it was $159.99.
All right. The barrel bash on the nose.
Oh my God. That's what I love about opening bottles and letting them sit for quite a while. There is no ethanol there. It's nothing but sweetness.
All right.
All the flavors that you can
Yep.
pick up.
That
Sweetness and corn.
So imagine what you're drinking on 3. It's imagine it a little bit sweeter on the front note, okay? And it's way more cherry. So imagine like a little bit of cherry cola flavor and then finished with a huge amount of peach. So $139.99 is what they were saying. At the distillery, whatever, it's a little bit more, yeah, because they charge more. But $139.99 for that. And that's one of the reasons, honestly, why I probably haven't completely jumped in, because there's only so much money that I have. I've already, but I'm glad that Andrew put us back into that. And we just a shout out at this. I mean, if you go back into the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, I've done interviews with Steve Nally, and we've done interviews with Greg Schneider, Steve Nally, and Nick Smith of Bardstown Bourbon Company. So if you guys want to go back and check that out, those are pretty good podcasts. I mean, what's happening?
Let's also just give a little bit of history too. That we, as the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, we've started this and done this from our own pocket. We don't do this. We hadn't done this from donations of liquors. This is from bottles that we bought, and we always do these reviews, like I say, from bottles that we acquire most of the time. And very few times do we get samples like a lot of these award specialists and things like that. But we get these bottles, and when we acquire them by our cost, and then we do the review on them, and then it's our very honest, opinionated review.
Yes,
and that's how we built this podcast.
Well,
right?
It used to be all your costs.
Well,
and now it's partially my cost. But I mean, there's certain friends of the podcast. For instance, what Greg Schneider and Tyler Rothenberg do at Chicken Cock for us, so that we can promote their brand, is amazing. Old stubborn Ed Bly, he was able to get it.
Every now and then we like you're saying, we do. It's not 100%, but for a lot of years it was 100% us. But now, like I say, it's 70% us and our cost, and then 30% we are getting these samples and stuff to review.
Yes, we do get some. Yes, but at the same time, for instance, we're reviewing tonight courtesy of Andrew Lucas. If you as listeners want to send us, and don't send up so many. I have so many samples, but if you have an individual,
now you're gonna kick me.
No, it's not just you. I have samples. Wait. Walker every time I see Walker, not only do I get to drink some fantastic bourbon, but he's got like 7 maker's marks. And then the worst thing he does to me is he basically is like, he takes the best bourbon and he goes, Roxy only sample.
I know.
Drives me crazy. Anyways, thanks, Walker.
That's our good friend.
Yes, Walker. It is. So, anyways, getting back to this. All right. So I want to say the nose.
He don't only do that because I kind of do that. Just like I told you earlier, I was sending up bottles to her, not you.
I think with the little bit of, now that I've been drinking on it, Andrew, there's definitely, the peach has gone to a little bit more of a dark chocolate. So it's complicated, but the finish is finishing with like a tangy dark chocolate finish. I mean, it's spectacular. I mean, all right. So, okay. The nose, as far as comparing to other bourbons, it's fruity. It's got like vanilla custard notes, but if I have to, so me personally, this would be the least amount of this bourbon. And I'm going to give the nose a 3 because I love the caramels and this is fruity. And so if it's fruity, it's still good. And I like the fruitiness of the cherry and the apricot and the peach and the sweetness of it, but it's still, I would, for a bourbon, if this was an Irish whiskey or a Japanese whiskey, it would be right up there. But this is the Discovery Bourbon Series from out of Kentucky, and even though it's unique, I want caramels and chocolates and those kind of things. So I'm going to give the nose a 3. Could you hear that, Nash?
Yeah, I did hear that.
Wow.
I heard like the last 2.
All right. So, body-wise, straight up a 4. It fills every frickin' pore of its cheeks, tongue, nose, stings, top of the roof of your mouth, back of your throat, and then peachiness. Taste.
The body on this 3, I have to, the way they blend these, and with the years they blend them and stuff, it has such a thickness and a sweetness and the taste and the flavor. It does. It reaches all the parts of your mouth.
Yep.
And the proof.
So Andrew's like, the chocolate on the is the Heaven Hill. Nicholas Nash, you said South Carolina. Tiny, what state? Ohio. Originally from Wisconsin, live in Ohio, and spend most of my time in Kentucky.
All right. So I was born in Germany, raised a few years in Colorado Springs to be exact. lived most of my life in South Carolina, went in the Army, went back to Colorado Springs in the Army for 3 years, and then back to South Carolina.
All right. Taste. It's sweet. Cherry cola, peach, dark chocolate finish. And it's bourbon. It's surprising for a bourbon. Andrew, I will give you that. I expect cherries and brown sugar and whatnot. You know what I mean? But it's so sweet. It almost tastes like there's peach flavor in this, which is ridiculous.
On this 3, I'm not getting the peach, but I'm getting like the cherry and the cola flavor.
Yeah,
Cola flavor.
I told you that the difference. Imagine if you took 3, and then made it so that you have double the sweetness and it tastes like peach after the cherry cola.
Yeah. This one, like I say, I'm getting cherry cola and sweetness and I'm getting a little bit of the brown sugar on this too. But no oakiness, for 13 years and an 18 year, no oakiness whatsoever.
Well, when you think about this one, again, let's look at this. I got it.
Delicious.
So when you think about this one, we are talking about a 6 Bardstown, where the Bardstown in that has to be what, a 2-year, 3-year Bardstown?
Yeah.
And this is a 6-year Bardstown, but then you have a 10.
No, there's no Bardstown in this.
Yeah, there
because
is.
There's only 3 in here.
Okay, so this
Indiana, 2 and 2 Kentucky's.
So this has
there's a Bardstown in that one, right?
This has a 14-year-old Kentucky, 2 10-year-old Kentuckys, and a 6-year-old Bardstown.
Yeah.
And the 6-year-old Bardstown's only 8. It's a 4 grain and it's only 8%. But the 48% of it is a 14-year-old 75 whatever. 75, 13, and 12. 78, 12, and 10 would be the Beam, because Beam is 78% corn with the 12. And then he's saying the turkey's probably the 78, 13, 9. And so that leaves the 75, 13, and 12. What was the other one that he was mentioning? Beam, Wild Turkey, Bardstown, and what? Heaven Hill. So the 14-year-old 75, 13, 12 must be the Heaven Hill. 6-year 4 grain. Yep.
And I bet. Yeah, on this one, 23%, the 75, 13, and 12 is Heaven Hill.
I mean, turkey and Beam.
That's the 18-year.
I mean, Beam and turkey are so close when it comes to bourbon. Like the bourbon flavors, they're different, but they're close, and that's obvious. So, all right. So,
oh my gosh, come to think about, and I got the Heaven Hill 18-year back here behind me.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, those flavors that come out in there.
So
you can pick those flavors out of the Heaven Hill 18-year too.
So 14 turkey is the 14-year-old is the turkey, he said. Okay. And then 10 Bardstown, or the 10 is the Beam and the Heaven Hill. All right.
On this 3, I'm saying that the Kentucky 13-year, the 74, 18, and 6 is probably the Beam in this one.
Okay. So that brings us to the taste, which I can give up to a 5. All right. I'm going to agree with you, Andrew. It earns the 5. There's no doubt, because there's so much going on, and Roxy's not giving this a 5 because she's not a fan of peach. So this has the aftertaste of peach tea, and that's like, she'll make the gagging noise after drinking if she gets peach tea by accident.
Oh
So-
my gosh, that is so amazing because my wife Sherry, she is not a fan of peach either, so she would not like that either.
Right.
That
But
she,
it's
yeah,
me. So I'm going to do
I love
taste.
peach.
It earns a 5. So we got 5. So now we're talking finish.
But so far, you got 3, 4, and 5.
Yep. And the finish starts off peach. And it's got the tanginess of like biting into a peach and what's left, the leftover taste in your mouth. Some peaches don't have a lot. There's so much sweetness, but then it goes to a dark chocolate next to the sweetness with a tang. And I've never experienced anything like that. I will say that on a what I want from this is medium to long finish.
That's usually what.
No, it's
most
a-
people,
but
most
it-
people like
Yeah, it's
is a medium to long.
I like the medium to long, but the long part of is the chocolate, dark
Yeah.
chocolate, and it's a little bit bitter, just a little. So I am going to give this for the finish a 4.
4,
So this pulls a 16 of 18.
16 of 18.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
Yes, Andrew. I think for the Discovery Series 12, you should send up a couple more samples so that we can put that in the blind.
Wow.
And
You want to enter this, huh?
I would say it I would say it enters. I mean, I think it's unique enough.
If it's like you said, if it's close to this number 3, in which the mash bills and everything is, then it deserves to be there.
Well, also Nash, remember how
we're gonna have a tough choice.
well, just remember
we might just we might have to break the rules. We might be entering 3 apiece.
no, I mean we can't. We've got you, CT, me, and Walker's
Whiskey.
Walker's gonna be and Whiskey's gonna be there. Roxy
Yeah.
can throw in. So we're gonna start the 10 a.m. pod.
Oh, so you're gonna influence your wife to throw in a couple.
Yeah.
That's a first.
What the hell's wrong with you? When do I ever when do listen to me. In what world?
She's always been the one to blind us.
She's gonna blind us.
Okay.
But I have a question. In what world have I ever influenced Roxy? I mean, what the shit?
Let me stop this train and let my brother jack off.
What the hell is that?
It's just a man joke.
Okay, Ozzy. Okay, Ozzy. Anyways, like I said, all right. So it's in there. Please send us a couple samples so that I can not have. I have some left, but I don't want to. I want to give everybody a chance. Now, the way, if you remember Nash, he said he sent a fresh 5th. Appreciate it. All right.
Oh, awesome.
So Walker says he likes peach too. So what's going to happen on the 10 a.m. podcast, everybody, is that's our holiday podcast. And on our holiday podcast, we're all together. It's a holiday festive thing. It happens 10 a.m. Facebook, YouTube Live. I have to clean off the
And
this bar.
Jeff will not be wearing his E.H. Taylor Christmas sweatshirt this year, like he tried to twin me last year.
I'm gonna no, your ass is twinned. Anyways, okay. So, what that said,
Yes.
with that said, the way the holiday podcast works, everybody, and we're going to end this now that we got through this. You know, I have to do a part of this, I guess. We're going to make this along because this is a holiday. The holiday podcast will have an assortment of 10 bourbons that we have to cut down to 5 that we get blinded on. So Roxy will be there, hers will be in there, everybody's will be in there. And we got to cut it down to 5 that we blind on the Bourbon of the Year podcast. That's what happens on the holiday thing. We have a good holiday festive podcast, 10 a.m. And at 2 p.m., we will then go live and decide our Bourbon of the Year. Blinded.
We definitely
for 5.
Break for lunch, and we go to the lizard place.
Winking Lizard. Anyways,
Winking Lizard.
Yeah, that's where we all try and sober up, but then there's Winking Lizard barrel pick pours, and it's fantastic this year. Anyways, so I have a couple suggestions for everybody who's looking for a holiday gift that's on the shelf regularly.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's
here
the
in
part of our podcast tonight.
Right, and here in Ohio,
holiday whiskey and bourbon gifts.
Right, here in Ohio, what you got to look for is what's on the shelf. I'm not trying to give you anything, but one of the things that's on the shelf that anybody who's here in Ohio should do is this right here. I'm telling you, the bottle's fancy. It is Chicken Cock Straight Bourbon. It is 100%. When you look at this bottle for people on Facebook and YouTube, I got it up there. You can't go wrong. 61.99 or 60.99, 65 some places, whatever. But look at that bottle. Look at the detail. It's got the chicken coop, chicken wire on it. It's kind of cool and fancy. Well worth it. And it's readily available across the United States. So Greg Schneider distills this. And what's in it? This is good damn bourbon. For anybody who loves bourbon, this is the gift.
Exactly. For all the flavors, the taste, the proof, it doesn't burn your taste buds right out and stuff like that. You know, if you want to give something to somebody that's a whiskey lover,
it's 90 proof.
They've never have it. This is the whiskey that you should get them.
Yep.
Because it's a great gift, and you just can't go wrong with the flavors and all that. Because we personally know the guy behind the distilling of it, and you know, he's the master distiller, and he holds nothing back in producing a great product and putting it out there for the whiskey lovers.
And what's on the shelf right now? Initially, it was sourced, and he made sure that the blends were up to quality, but this is his distillate from the Bardstown Bourbon Company that he controlled everything. So as far as the distilling, and then had some great barrels. I mean, it's just fantastic bourbon.
Yes.
And then another holiday suggestion that you can't go wrong on is any of the expressions, and this is always the holiday bourbon because it's festive. It is Basil Hayden. This is a Basil Hayden toast. $49.99. They got this little copper strap or brass strap around it. Decorative bottle, nice cork, wooden cork, quality bottle. You can't go wrong giving somebody a Basil Hayden. Now, I find this really good for entrance level people because the proof sits around, it's 80, if I'm not mistaken, it's 86 proof, right? Okay, I'll tell you.
It's a great thing that you mentioned that because I just met a guy today.
80 proof. So Basil Hayden.
Met a guy today, in Green's beverage store in Greenville, South Carolina, and he just happened to walk up to me and asked me, because I was sitting there looking at all the whiskey and bourbon, and he had a bottle of Woodford Reserve, and he was like, what would you think, about this Basil Hayden? And it was sitting up on the top shelf there on their things. And so I went into talking about the Basil Hayden and why we recommend Basil Hayden, about the proof, the taste, where it was made from at Jim Beam Distillery and all that. And then I went into Woodford Reserve and talked about it and what he had in his hand. And then I went into a couple of 2 or 3 others. But Basil Hayden, I told him, it was like, we recommend that to everybody that's just starting out into whiskey and all, because it's got a great flavor. It's got a low proof. It doesn't burn your taste buds. And I mean, we wound up sitting there talking for about 20 to 30 minutes and all that about how the flavors of the whiskey and everything and what Basil Hayden has compared to the other ones and why it's there. And so Basil Hayden is an amazing whiskey at a great price, and I believe we looked at the shelf, $39.99.
And
in South Carolina.
this is the toast, and this is $49.99. But you have
Okay.
many different
Yeah,
choices. There's smoked, and there's toasted, and there's
yeah.
something rye.
There's like 7
all-
or 8 different kinds of Basil Hayden.
I mean, you could get into Basil Hayden 10-year, where if you want to spend, but Basil Hayden, in my opinion, is one of the best gift-giving bourbons at the reasonable price.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
Depending on what flavor and what level your whiskey drinker is, you can pick from whatever flavor you want to whatever year it's aged, and they got it, and it's always readily available on the shelf.
So one of the other cool things is Maker's Mark. Now this is a Maker's Mark wood finish series, the Heart, and it's not what I'm just saying. Maker's Mark. This is a bottle I pulled off the shelf. They've got private selects. They've got these wood finishing series. They got regular Maker's Mark for $24.99, but this red dipped dripping wax is patented. You cannot dip wax anymore and let it drip down the bottle, no matter what color it is, because Maker's Mark has the patent on it. We learned that at the Blantons. They were wax dipping, and they had to have a little thing that caught the wax because they're not allowed to let it drip because they don't have a patent for letting the wax drip, unlike Maker's Mark. But it's like, no other. They dip lawn furniture and Glencairns and whiskey glasses, everything that's dipped, and you see this run, it means Maker's Mark. And you can't go wrong no matter what expression you buy of Maker's Mark, from $24.99 to about $80 on the shelf, the stuff that you can find on the shelf. It's all good. And it's a great gift that most people, if you're going to give somebody who likes bourbon, you give that person this, a Maker's Mark, and there's very few people that don't like what's going on with the Maker's Mark.
And I'm going to go one further. If they're a bourbon lover or whiskey lover, make them a Maker's Mark ambassador. It's for free. You can go to the website, sign them up, and they'll actually get their own barrel with their serial number and their name. And each time they go to the distillery, they'll get a pin. They'll get each Christmas, they'll get gifts sent to them and all. But at the end of the aging of their barrel, they're able to go up there and be able to purchase the bottles from their barrels that they were.
And that is the only single barrel program that Maker's Mark provides, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So you
And
get a
there you
single
go.
barrel of your barrel, and you can, I believe, with the amount of people they put your name on, It's up. You can buy up to 16 or 18. I think it's 18 bottles. I think that's what it is. But
And so there you go. So you can actually give somebody a free
yep.
Maker's Mark bourbon gift by giving them the gift of becoming a Maker's Mark ambassador.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. So the last suggestion I have for holidays, if you're going to spend a little bit of money, you can't go wrong on this. And believe it or not, right now, folks, this is on the shelf.
Oh my gosh.
This is Booker's. And everywhere you go, now the current batch is Jimmy's batch. This is a batch that that Fred No did recently. Now this is Fred No's dad is Booker. Now Booker, this will run you MSRP right around $100. This is definitely an investment gift, but if you know somebody who loves bourbon and you want to impress them, this is Booker's. It's not always readily available on the shelves, but right now, when you walk into your liquor store, especially here in Ohio, it's there. They had it, this batch, for whatever reason. I don't know why. They might have made more of it. They might have made whatever. But whatever it is, it's out there and it's fantastic. And what it is, this is a wrapped up gift in itself. I mean, Booker's,
Hey,
it's got the
one thing about this bourbon is that it's barrel strength bourbon.
uncut and unfiltered.
Yeah, uncut and unfiltered, just like what we always say at the end of our podcast. This bourbon, Booker No, when he talked about it and he thought about it, he thought the bourbon should be uncut, unfiltered, and presented right from the barrel, just as it was, at barrel strength. And that's how Booker's became about. And so you're getting these barrel flavors right at barrel proof. And each Booker's bourbon now has a story, it has a name, it has a background. And Fred No, a good friend of ours, when he gets these batches and he gets them, he designs a story around each batch. And that's just a present in itself. So if you got a bourbon lover in your family or a friend that loves bourbon, this will definitely impress them if you get a bottle of this.
All right. So there's our holiday gift ideas when it comes to bourbon. Look forward to one of the podcasts, probably on Thursday night. I might have non-bourbon bourbon gifts for the bourbon lover, not actually bottles. But those are 4 ideas for the holiday that are on the shelf, readily available, that you can run to your local liquor store, buy it up, and give it to your favorite bourbon loving person.
And I'd also like to add that also when you go to your favorite ABC or liquor store, search out, because also at holiday time, a lot of the distilleries have holiday packs.
Oh yeah,
most of the major names:
Woodford Reserve, Maker's Mark, and Jack Daniels. Jim Beam.
They all usually have holiday packs.
Yep.
Where it involves a bottle and maybe glasses or some other kind of present, whether it's a blanket or anything else, added into the bourbon pack. So look for those. They make all of them make great holiday gifts to support,
All right,
the
Nash.
whiskey lover in your life, and give them a great gift.
We're
whiskey and bourbon.
We're gonna wrap this up. We're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. www.Scotchy Bourbon Boys for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We've got Glencairn's t-shirts and hopefully bourbon balls soon. And then also remember to follow us on all the podcast formats: Twitter, X, Twitter. Did I really say Twitter? X, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, but also all the major podcast formats. Apple, iHeart, and Spotify are the main ones, but check us out on all other ones. But just remember, no matter where you listen, listen, comment, and leave good feedback.
Yes.
And subscribe. And then listen, comment, and subscribe, and leave good feedback. And then also remember, good bourbon equals good times and good friends.
And good times.
Drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And live your life. Take it super Nash.
Uncut and unfiltered.
Little Steve-O will take us out.
All right.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you, I tell you, I tell you we must die.
Oh, yeah.
All right. We're going to stay on for a couple minutes on YouTube and Facebook. All right. Let's see. I'm going to introduce. I'm just going to see what happens when I just do it all. I'm going to save it here. File publish to. Let's see. Publish to uploading.
I'd just like to say thank you to everybody watching on YouTube and Facebook. We appreciate each and every one of you. We couldn't do it without you.
Untitled.
And thanks, cheers, and looking forward to the holidays with each and every one of you.
BBCO 12, Scotchy Bourbon Boys. All right, I'm hitting save. So Walker, I know that you said Private Select is Maker's Mark's barrel program, but it's really technically not. The Private Select is dropping wood, is their barrel program where they drop wood staves in to finish the barrels.
Yeah, it's not actually single
It's
barrel.
not buying. Nobody buys single barrel Maker's Marks. They have to do it. So when you're in the ambassador program, you're basically getting an actual single barrel Maker's Mark. They don't sell that. That is a unique program.
It's a single barrel that's untouched and unfiltered.
And I believe you do get, if I'm not mistaken, it is proof down to Maker's Mark proof. I want to say that single barrel is proof down, but maybe an ambassador can let me know. And Greg Schneider, Merry Christmas. Thank you. Fred told Jimmy Russell, you're my dad. Booker and Jimmy were very close for friends. Yes. That was a great story, Greg. I'm glad that you shared that with us. There's no doubt. And then,
Absolutely, Greg. Thank you so much.
No, Walker, they just proof down your barrel. They don't blend it. It's not. It's your barrel. It's proof down. They just pour that in and proof it to the right thing, but there's no blend. If I'm not mistaken, you're allowed. It's like there's 8 people on mine, and it's 16 bottles per proof down to 90 proof. Yes, but it's still a single barrel. It's not a blend. They don't blend it with other people's barrels. It's your barrel. That's what you get to. That's why the ambassador program, if I'm not mistaken, now on March 7th or March 9th, I will ask Rob Samuel about that. But they blend. No, okay. Proofed. They proof
my barrel's a little bit over 4 years now, about 4.5 years. Well, I just looked at it just the other day.
My barrel is
5.5 years.
Yep. Yeah, it should be getting close to. I did it in 2018. Yep. August of 2018.
2019.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
When I met you, me and Sherry did it.
Actually, mine is going on 6.5 years. Because I no,
it shouldn't.
yes, because I
It'd be 5.5.
nope. I did it before I did it in 2018, which was the year before when I was doing it with in August of 2014. So it turned 6 years
What?
this year. Yeah. 2018, I mean. I did it 2018. We met in November of 2000 or September of
2019.
all right. So I had already done it for a year, but I told you to do it.
We did ours in 2019.
Yes, you did it in 2019, but I had done it in 2018, and I had been telling,
That's right.
I had been telling Xavier to freaking do it for a whole year.
Actually, no, I take that back because we did it right at the first of 2020. So that, yeah.
No, you did it 2000. You did
No, because it's 4.5 years. Yeah.
okay, 2000. Yeah, you did it 2019.
2019. Right? Yeah, right at the end of 2019, October.
Right, because when you came up in 2019, I told you to do it because it's the coolest program. But I had already done it in 2008. I looked. So mine was 2019 was 1, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. August of 24, it turned 6 years. So they do it between 5 and 7. So mine should be getting close.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. I'm so excited.
I hope they let mine go to 7.
Yeah, but I mean, what's been cooler about Maker's Mark and why cellar aged is so good is because everybody always talked about forever cellar that they wanted extra aged Maker's Mark.
Oh, there's a distiller coming out too that they're going to be aging it in a deep dark cellar. They're not having rick houses. Everything's going to be aged underground.
Yeah, you should talk. You should.
A new gimmick, but I don't understand how they're going to do that because they won't have the heat to force the alcohol into the barrel, and then the cold to
It's cellar aged, so they age rick houses for 5 to 7 years. Then they move it for the last 6, 7 years down into the cellar to slow up the aging. That's what they do. You got to talk to Walker about. He knows exactly what they do. Walker was telling me what he wants to do, but we're not going to throw that out, man. No, I'm not telling anybody's Walker's secret. That's for sure. Walker has a really cool plan. If you're ever with Walker, he can tell you what his plan is. What do I want to drink?
Maybe we can open up a distillery. I can do the distilling, and he can do the aging.
I have to have one more pour since we're hanging out tonight.
And you can do the media part.
What media part?
The media part. I'll do the distilling. Walker does the aging, and you do the media. Advertisement, selling.
I was like, not okay. So I have to have some of the. Hey, for everybody out there.
So I'm not going to have nothing left by the time I get up.
But for everybody out there and YouTube and Facebook,
I'm going to get an empty unsigned bottle.
You don't get this bottle. This bottle, you can have some on it, but you have your own sign.
You told me the other day that was mine. That was me.
I said, you have a sign.
That was my brand.
Yeah, this is your brand. That's what I said. What's
because it's the Gym of Kentucky.
The what of Kentucky, huh? What the what?
The Gym of Kentucky.
You did it. You said gem.
That's what I've always said.
No.
The Gym of Kentucky.
No, you said the gym. This is not a basketball gym. This is a diamond. It's a gem.
What I said, the Gem of Kentucky.
No. Can I ask you, didn't we go over how to say this? I got you to actually say it.
It's the Gem.
No, it's the M&M of Kentucky. Say it. It's the M&M of Kentucky.
Gem.
No, it's not.
We're not going through this. the Gem of Kentucky.
God damn it! Think of M&M. Say M&M.
M&M.
Yeah, right there. So
M&M.
now just say J-M.
J-M.
There you go. Say it. The J-M of Kentucky.
What I said, the Gem of Kentucky.
It is. Oh my God.
Are you getting on me for my German, Western, Southern accent?
I'm getting on you because it's called the Gem of Kentucky. And you're fucking saying the gym.
That's what I said.
Why don't we just? No, we should call this as a nickname.
What?
The Big Gym. Oh, I don't know how much is in this because it's a damn black bottle. I can't like.
Oh, hey, wait a minute. Don't be saying nothing about the bottle.
Why?
Just don't. Not going there. Just don't.
What is going on? All right, I'll put this over. I'm having some Gem of the 2XO Gem of Kentucky, Dixon Deadman's.
Me too. Gem of Kentucky. Actually, I'm having Discovery 1, Bardstown Bourbon Company.
I mean, this one tastes like.
Have you got any of the Copper and Kings left?
No, that was 2 samples in 2020.
No, so good.
What do I have left? I got some samples left. Let's see.
Yeah, you got.
Here's a sample that I'm never going to drink.
Old Forester Barrel Strength Rye.
I had everybody.
That really doesn't drink like a rye. You should try it.
So
No,
I cannot.
No,
someone tried to tell me Sazerac 18 didn't drink like a rye. Where did they kill the dead guy and then soak him in formaldehyde, put him in a bottle, and then piss himself? Where did they do that?
Hey, we need to get a couple of samples of that Sazerac 18 rye for our January rye podcast. We're going to taste.
You know where you can get it. You ask her. I've already tasted it.
I will.
If you wanted on this podcast to watch me make the worst face I ever made in my life.
You're going to be making so many faces because the whole podcast is going to be nothing but rye.
Are you going to send up some Michter's Barrel Strength 2017 rice? Because I want to make faces on that.
Oh yeah, I got some toasted rye.
Let's do some Michter's Barrel. Let's do a podcast on all the different Michter's toasted barrel ryes. I will do that. Just send them all up. Bring them up in sample bottles in your suitcase.
Why don't I just come up there and live with you with my whole bourbon collection?
No, just the Michter's toasted barrel rye, barrel proof. All I'm gonna say is if you bring those, I just want to do a whole rye.
Oh my God!
I want to do a whole all your different years. I want to test.
I just offered to come live with you with my whole bourbon collection, and you just said no.
No, I didn't. I did not.
You said no, just the rye.
I'm not getting that little Indian girl behind. that's somewhere in that house. I ain't agreeing to that.
Oh,
She'd
no,
freaking scalp me.
Yeah, I didn't
That's
think
your
that through. I
that's
didn't think
hey
that
Nash.
through.
Nash.
I didn't think that
Sherry's
through
your
all the way, did I?
Sherry's your cross to bear, not mine. I already bear my own.
I didn't think that through all the way, did I?
No, you didn't. And I'm not agreeing to that shit. She's probably in the other room and heard you.
She's asleep.
Okay.
She's got to go to work.
What'd you think of the Bardstown Bourbon Company? I got the glass and the hat and the sweatshirt. Yeah, you did too. Yep.
I got the shirt. I got the glass, and I got all the several different Bardstown bourbons. So I was representing.
I think I actually have a Sazerac rye in this place.
Well, I got one. It's so old. That was one of my first ryes I ever bought.
So since we're so deep into this podcast, I actually won. Oh, this was my last selection. It's a bonus selection. I will suggest Four Roses small batch for Christmas to anybody out there. That bottle, any woman that you want to give a Christmas present to or a Valentine's present, you can't go wrong with these small batch bottles. They're gorgeous, right? For Four Roses.
Not the limited selection like that is.
Yeah, but
you never find it, but just the regular small batch.
And it's in the same type bottle with the same rose embossed in the front, the Four Roses. So, yeah. So I'll throw that out as a.
Yeah. And I mean, in the regular Four Roses small batch is it's delicious. Just like Brent was saying the other day on the podcast. That's one of his good fours.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Where are you getting all these Parker's Heritage from?
Yeah, this one here, the 14 years.
The 14
that's the one I won. But but this one is.
Yeah. Where'd you get that?
That's the one that I had and got, and you sent me, and it's the Curacao finish.
Oh, I want that back. Want it back. I have a use for it. I have it back when I come up there. Because you don't drink it, obviously, but can I have it back?
This is the second bottle.
But can I have that one?
Yeah.
Because I really do have a use for it.
I hope so, because I've been using it. Wins all my tastings. If I include it in the tasting,
honestly, I need it because I'm trying to build the world's largest collection of whiskey and bourbon, in which I'm getting close.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Nope.
Have you ever seen the world record?
Dude.
World record is only just a little over 1,000 bottles.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Different bottles.
So there's a guy.
Open.
There's a guy.
Open. We're not talking about closed.
No.
For the open.
Okay. So there's a guy somewhere in like Oklahoma or North Dakota, or somewhere out there, that the guy that Bourbon Real Talk, which is what's his name? From Bourbon Real Talk. He went and saw his collection, dude. And it's like, and you know who also has a collection that kills you? Is the John Ritt and Sherry and John from that own the big house.
Yeah.
His collection is like he has to. I think he went underground and built a bunker, and it's completely full. Plus, he has a whole library that you walk in that's just filled with massive amounts of bourbon. I mean, he definitely. So I know two people that have more than. They probably have 10,000 bottles. The one guy, he has all the scotches, all the scotches.
Scotches don't count.
You said
American whiskey and bourbon.
Okay, well that's different. But but if I had one bottle from every distillery in the United States that makes bourbon, I'd have 2,000 bottles.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't even include the brands. There's 2,176 distilleries making bourbon in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So 1,000 isn't going to get you there.
I've got more than that.
No, but I will tell you that what's his name? Randy. You need to talk to Randy Ford.
But I've got a ton of more, and I'm like I say, I'm stacking them on the floor. I've got them on this other.
I'm not saying that I'm not
old bourbons, young bourbons. I've got them from a lot of different distilleries, and I'm working my way up.
Just know.
Expanding, and not only that, but like I say, I'm getting them and I'm opening them.
Do you know how?
That's the thing, because it's not just to have them and have them unopened. It's to have them and have them open and drink out of.
Well, I have
That's a different thing.
937 bottles now.
How many?
937.
Bullshit.
I'm not. No, 937.
No way.
Yeah, I do. And of the 937, about 825 are 850 are open. I don't. And the only reason why the other ones that aren't open, the 80 that aren't open, is because I can't freaking keep up. They'd be open if I could keep up. I open them all. You taught me well. I mean, even today, what did I tell you I got?
Brother,
look at this. Right there.
Hey.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, brother. I know you have a bigger collection. There's no doubt.
No, I'm not boasting, but cheers to what we've started and what we've become. And I never ever imagined anything like this.
No, I will have.
It's amazing.
I will have to say that some of the bourbons that you have are above and beyond anything that I've ever gotten. There's no doubt about it. And you bring in some dusties and stuff, but I do. I get a lot of random shit from a lot of random people.
Yes, absolutely. But that's what I was just cheersing you to. I mean, it's amazing what we've started and accomplished and where we're at. I never ever thought that,
Do you have this?
Yes, I do.
You finally picked that up?
Yeah, I got that. I got that several weeks ago. That is fantastic too.
Well,
that's what I told you. I told you we could podcast about that.
Look, I podcasted on this already.
I know. Oh my gosh! It's like the week after you podcasted it. That's when I got that. That's right. It's sitting over there somewhere.
I'm going to try the Bardstown Discovery 12 again. So did you know that Randy Ford was
I'm gonna bring up that Christmas bottle.
You've talked to Randy Ford, aka Whiskey Doc, right? Huh?
Yes.
Yeah. His collection probably, we're morphed. It's just that guy has whiskey from like random people from like, he goes into Yuma, Arizona and finds a Mexican American California distillery on the border, and he buys all 6 of their expressions. It's just crazy.
Yeah, he's awesome. Oh yeah, I'm just exaggerating.
You do have a very impressive collection. I mean, just think of the collection that Brad has. Brad Bonds.
Oh my gosh. He's got a collection.
And then think of what Justin's House of Bourbon, the collection they got.
Yep. Oh my gosh. Did you see where they just auctioned off a bunch? State of Kentucky auctioned off a bunch of confiscated whiskeys and bourbons and all that.
Yeah,
Just recently,
I saw it.
I looked at it. Oh my God, the prices I mean, ridiculous.
Yep. All right.
We're getting
Go ahead.
ridiculous prices for the bourbons that they had, I mean, like $800 for a Weller Full Proof,
Yeah, but it was old.
See, but see, the thing was, everything was going, they were going to donate so much to charity and blah, blah, blah. And the other part was going to the city of Frankfurt or Kentucky, or, the state of Kentucky. Anyway, it was a freaking racket.
Of course. Why wouldn't the state of I mean, it's when you're in Kentucky, you can't get one over on somebody. Just can't.
Yeah.
They know what the value. There's very few people in Kentucky that don't know the value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, it I looked at it and I signed up for it, and then all of a sudden I started clicking on the prices, and I was like, oh my God. Like, you can buy the same bottle. I mean, even if you went secondary, you can buy that bottle for like $300 instead of $800, or it's just ridiculous prices, 4 and 5 times secondary.
I can't wait till March when his barrels that he picked are in the bottle. That'll be awesome.
You think we'll be able to get a bottle?
What do you mean? You just go to the store. They're going to be in the store.
Yeah, well, okay.
This just the regular. It's going to be the regular bourbon. His barrels that this one here is the barrels that he just bought when he first started. But the first time his barrels that he handpicked, and put those in this year in March will be the first time that he'll have put that in the bottle. And it's going to be so good. It's going to be a jump from this. And this
it still makes me sick that Grain and Barrel they're
you should have seen his post tonight right before we got on.
I thought I got it.
I mean, he was just like, it's all in their hands.
Yep.
He's using.
I read it.
He's being very specific to use social media to back him, because they need to tell them. He needs his people to tell everybody how important it is. We need everybody to get together to tell everybody how important it is. I'm going to end the YouTube real quick, Nash.
I agree with that 100%. Because they are making a big mistake if they don't renegotiate or anything.
All right, everybody on YouTube, we're going to end this tonight. Thank you for watching, and see you on Thursday about
You too.
8:30, 9
Everybody,
o'clock.
We appreciate you.